Yo, what's up guys, and welcome into the patch notes of Phasmophobia Ascension, the biggest Phasmophobia update yet. The update is gonna release tomorrow at 10 AM UTC. I have early access to these patch notes, so in this video we're gonna check them out together. So I hope you're joining me for that. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this update, but let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into these patch notes. Alright, here we go guys. Progression. A new leveling system has been added with new rates of progression, new unlocks and a prestige system. For this system to function, all current players have been reset to Prestige 1, Level 1. This way you can continue to play with your unlocked difficulties and locations. New players will start at Prestige 0, Level 1. Legacy Badge. Upon launching the game for the first time after updating, you will be presented with a new screen to choose a unique badge with options based on your pre-update level once saved. This is uneditable, right? Remember that, you have to choose carefully. So you can, you will have your badge on your player character if you didn't know yet, right? The badge that you already, like the level that you already had, will be on your upper arm, I think, for forever. So you have to choose carefully for this badge, and yeah, that's why you should. Hopefully you have the levels, right? Hopefully you have the levels, guys. Equipment. Upgrades. Each equipment item now has 3 tiers. We already knew that. Tiers cost a large sum of money to unlock, but each tier will cost the same to bring into a contract. Okay. To upgrade a piece of equipment, reach the required level, go to the shop and press on any item's UI tile on the screen, then hit upgrade. Interesting stuff for sure. Renaming. Several names have been replaced to accommodate changes for the new upgrade tiers, so that the word covers a broader spectrum. So fingerprints, right? We already knew that is going to be ultraviolet, because the footsteps also going to be basically ultraviolet, right? Footsteps are now footsteps. Photos, descriptions are now footprints, right? Candle is now firelight. What? Lighter is the igniter. Why? Smudge sticks are incense. Oh no! What? Wait! We cannot get rid of smudge sticks. Are you kidding? Camcorder is the video camera. Right, I mean, that's okay. Glow sticks and UV torches, UV light. Sanity pills is sanity medication. Alright. Head-mounted camera is headgear. Alright. Weak, strong flashlight is just a flashlight. Alright. Cool. Dots. We felt that dots wasn't very interactive evidence type, so we completely refactored it from the ground up. Instead of being a clone of the ghost that gets spawned in and revealed with dots, the following will happen. You will no longer get duplicate dots ghosts or dots triggering during events, hunts, or other interactions. Alrighty. No more dots during hunts. Ghosts with dots evidence can now enter a short dots state, where they are temporarily visible with infrared light. During the time they will wander towards the nearest player, disappearing if the player is in the same room. Alright, so it's basically the physical form that you're seeing of the ghost with the new dots, not just like a projection of it that it was before, right? It's actually the physical ghost walking around, just being visible with the dots. Dots ghost photos now count as a normal ghost photo. Alrighty. Wait, hold on a second. Dots ghost photos now count as a normal ghost photo. Excuse me? We can actually get the ghost photo with the dots. That is interesting. That's actually a cool thing. Holy shit. That is amazing. Holy cow. Note banshees will try to roam towards their target instead. Okay. Alright. Makes sense. Makes sense. So that's actually really cool. So to figure out the banshee as well. Right? But you probably have to do this multiple times for it to be noticeable, I would say. Right? But that's actually a cool new test for the banshee. That's amazing. Firelights and igniters. these names. You can now turn off firelights by pressing the use button while holding it. All right, that's cool. Firelights now have a duration for their effects and no longer stop the sanity drain completely, with different amounts of sanity benefits per tier. So we have so many things to test there. They are not revealing the sanity drains, it seems, so we have to test this with all the tiers and all the. I hope they fix the rooms, because there's so many rooms in Phasmophobia where actually the sanity drain still kicked in. So I'm not sure if this has been fixed as well, right, with this fix here, because I don't know if it's even more chaotic then, because I really liked being able to control your sanity with the candle, but we have to see how this goes, right? Parabolic microphone. When using parabolic microphone, you will clearly hear all sounds you are aiming towards within range, while all other sounds will be muffled. Alrighty, so we actually do get muffled sounds with parabolic. That's a cool change, I think, but still, I don't know if they have done anything for accessibility or people that have hearing problems, you know. We have to see if they are adding something like that. I hope they do. Incense. The interval in which the ghost checks if an incense is active is now much smaller, making repelling the ghost much more consistent. I actually never had really a problem with that, to be honest, but maybe the resmudging now works better. I wish the smudge would just stack, technically, right? So if you smudge it again, like right now you can smudge it, the ghost, but you have to wait till the roaming is over so you can smudge it again. So I wish you could just smudge it again, like within the 6 seconds now, and then it's basically stacks on top of it. Another, actually not on top of it stacking, but from the moment you smudge it again, it just increases it, right? For this amount, that would be cool. Salt and ultraviolet will now only reveal footprints if the ghost has ultraviolet evidence. All right, right? You can only get footprints visible if the ghost has the evidence for it. Footprints will now share the same chance and duration as fingerprints. All right, makes sense. Glow sticks can now be used again after they dim to shake and revitalize the light they produce. We already knew that, but that's actually a really cool feature. I really like that. So the glow sticks are actually usable again. Thermometers and temperatures. Thermometers now count as a starter item alongside with the evidence items. Cool. That makes sense. The cold breath effect will now show around 4 degrees Celsius and below, right? Wait, it's only 4. I thought they said 4 to 7 degrees. Around 4. I think they probably mean 4 to 7, right? I'm not sure. They said 4 to 7 before. But yeah, you cannot use this as an evidence anymore, guys, right? With this change. You have to use the thermos. That's why they are doing it. You now must use the thermometer to find freezing temperatures at 0 Celsius or 32 Fahrenheit or below. To receive a room temperature reading, you must hold the use button for a short period. All right, tiers 2 and 3 only. All right, so not on the first tier. Room temperatures will now be much more consistent between players. All right, freezing temps. So these were actually not really synced between the players. I'm not playing a lot of multiplayer, so I never really noticed that. Sometimes I noticed while playing with the community, but solo play was also busted with freezing, but whatever. Freezing ghosts can lower the temperature to minus 10 degrees. Non-freezing ghosts can lower it to 1 degrees. Temperatures will now drop at a third of the current speed. A third? If the temperature is below the minimum weather temperature. A third? You kidding? That's super slow. Holy cow, man. You have to wait like so long to get to freezing then. Or whatever. I mean, Tripods and video cameras, max amount reduced to 4. I mean, it makes sense. So who needs that many, right? Ghosts can now throw video cameras like other items. We knew that. That's really cool. Ghosts can now rarely knock over tripods. So that's a new feature they can do, right? And the higher tier tripods will be more sturdy technically, so they can be thrown less. Consumables. Here we go. Consumables. Just to check. Consumables. Some items are now consumable. This means if you use an item marked as consumable in the shop, you will have to purchase it again when you leave. Disabling loose items in custom difficulty will not consume items. Rewards are still set to 0x, right? So you cannot just leave the game anymore. You will lose these consumables. And what are the consumables? Crucifix all tiers, Firelight 1 and 2, Igniter all tiers, Incense 1 and 2, Salt all tiers, Sanity medication all tiers. So it looks like I think this change is probably done this to counter cheesing, or I wouldn't say, yeah, it's probably cheesing, right? I mean, I sometimes went in, if you want to grind really fast levels, you go in and you basically figure out the ghost with one hunt, and if you can't figure it out, you just dash, you leave and get out again, because walking back to the truck takes longer, obviously. So with that, they basically countered that a little bit, I would say. I don't know, that's probably the reason why they did this, I think. But yeah, I mean, those are not too expensive items, we have to see. But yeah, still a funny change, right? So we cannot just leave the game anymore, it seems. You have to walk back to the truck. Reward changes. Several rewards had changed their values to feel more rewarding and encourage the completion of objectives. Rewards for all objectives, tasks, and the weekly challenge have been increased drastically. Okay. Any experience earned will now give you the same amount in dollars. Makes sense. Rewards for collecting the bone will no longer be affected by the reward multiplier. Also makes sense, right? There were some people that, I mean, I also did that. Just go in, get the bone, get out again with a high multiplier, and then you get experience for like doing nothing. So they counted out with that. You don't get anything anymore. Training. The training mission has been replaced with a brand new experience. To access it, press the training button in the main menu. Makes sense. This version of training is set to custom built. This version of a training is set into a custom built warehouse with different rooms to show the player how to use each items and equipment, as well as give tips and tricks how to play the game in a controlled environment. Hey, we have to play the training again. Nice, complete new training, not just Tanglewood. Gamepad 2.0 added gameplay UI button controls for the journal, voice recognition, text, and the main menu screen. All right, replaced gamepad UI navigation with a virtual on-screen cursor. Makes sense, right? Because it's coming to consoles. Makes sense. Blocking players. You can now block players. What? You can now block other players. Blocking another player will keep them permanently muted until you unblock. I've almost thought they added player collision into the game. Holy cow. Alright, to block or unblock a player, press the block button. Press the unblock button on either the player card or on the recent players page. You can also unblock players by going into the blocked players tab in the pause menu. Alright, so you can block players now. New! Let's go! Upgraded the Unity engine for many performance improvements. That's good for people with bad PCs, I guess. Swapped from the Forward to Forward Plus renderer. With this, turning on multiple lights should no longer reduce your performance drastically. So that means we can turn on more lights. I don't think so, right? But because that was apparently the reason why you can only turn on like 10 lights on a small map. And I mean, now it's probably like a gameplay thing, right? But it was initially more like a performance thing, whatever. Added a help button to the equipment list to explain the new icons to the player, right? Clicking on any equipment panel in the shop or loadout pages will now open a new window displaying the new information and buttons for upgrading. All right, makes sense. I don't know if they totally revamped the shop system. I think they're still revamping the shop system a little bit. We have to see, right? A small tier button has been added. To the top left of each equipment item in the shop, which you can click to quickly cycle through unlock upgrades. All right, cool. New gameplay descriptions and lore notes have been added to all equipment viewable on the upgrade screen. Lore notes? Alright, lore notes. We have to check them out. Equipment with the consumable key feature will need to be rebought after being used in a contract. Yeah, you said that. You can now set a loadout to auto buy. This will refill any missing items when finishing a mission. Let's go! But only if you have the money to buy them all. Yeah, makes sense. Added, but that's a really cool feature. I really like that. Added range indicators while placing to all ghostwriting. What? Added a range indicator while placing to all ghostwriting books and motion sensors. A range indicator to ghostwriting books and motion sensors. That's cool. That's amazing. That is really cool. I don't know why the ghostwriting book should be much of a thing, but I mean, the ghosts are roaming randomly anyways, right? But for the motion sensor, that makes a lot of sense. Added platform-specific icons to the player cards and recent players page. Makes sense because of the consoles coming in. Player voices will now be affected by audio effects such as the Sunny Meadows hallway reverb. Let's go! Awesome. I can't wait for multiplayer. Added gamepad UI button controls for the journal, voice recognition, text, and the main menu screen. Hold on. Cool. Added a fade to the VR head collision. Nice. When the game loads into the map to the main menu, you will now always be a smooth fade for VR and non-VR. Awesome. The ghost will now leave EMF when blowing out a candle. Oh, let's go. That is amazing. I love that. That makes a lot of sense because it's technically an interaction, right? Several equipment items can now be turned on and off by pressing use when aiming at them while they are placed. Oh my god, they're bringing it back. Oh, I don't know why they removed that, but they removed it. I mean, they said they removed it because of trolling, right? Because you can technically just turn off stuff. It makes no sense. I'm so glad they brought this back. That is amazing. So glad. It has been so annoying. Added support for the Quest Pro, alright? Added support for the Vive Focus 3. Right, cool. Changes. The in-game voice system has been replaced with photon voice. Oh no, please. Excuse me, photon voice. I hope it's gonna be good because I had not many problems with the current system, but who knows, right? Maybe they had problems with, I don't know. Maybe they had problems with like the muffling or something. Who knows? Replaced and added several new sounds for equipment, right? Move the camera view for the head-mounted camera so that it's easier to watch other players' view, right? Crucifixes will now leave an extra 50% range per tier amongst demons. Wait, what? Crucifixes will now have an extra 50% range per tier? That's just what they already had technically, right? But just per tier, it's basically just like a 50% increase, all right? Incense will now have an extra, it's not on top of what we already have, right? I think, hopefully. That would be insane. Incense will now have an extra 50% duration per tier against Moroi, right? I mean, I think that's the same, right? It's not like that is, but it's only 50% per tier, right? Because now it was always like 12 seconds for the Moroi smudge time instead of 6, so basically double. And now it's just a 50% increase per tier. Okay, just remember that. Replaced gamepad UI navigation with a virtual on-screen cursor. Right? Rebaked lighting in all locations, main menu and training. Increased the penalty for choosing monkey paw in custom games. Yeah, that was like that was the most cheesy strat, right? Right now, currently with the monkey paw, I mean, it's still a thing. Where you could farm a lot of money on Sunny Meadows and basically make a small map out of Sunny Meadows with the monkey paw, but still getting the rewards for a big map. And that was the main cheesing strategy right now. And yeah, the penalty is probably removing that. I think they're gonna fix the monkey paw itself, but they just had like no time to do that. They will probably adjust the wishes a bit to counter that, to get rid of this. But for now, it's a penalty. I wish to see the ghost will no longer teleport the ghost in front of you. Instead, it will reveal where the ghost in... What? It will not teleport. Instead, it will reveal where the ghost in its current position. Ah. Okay, so I cannot kill CJ. I've wanted to actually kill Insim and CJ. Alright, they are changing it. They are changing the monkey paw as well. Forget what I just said. They are changing the monkey paw as well. Especially the one that made the ghost come to you, right? I think the other one, I wish to be safe, is also still a problem because you can make the ghost come to you during a hunt. So that one is also still an issue. I think it's even the main issue, to be honest, on the big map. But whatever. Updated all equipment loadouts for weekly challenges to accommodate tiers. Some are harder, some are easier. Alright, cool. Reduce the chance for a ghost to interact with a door as it was overpowering other interactions. Okay. That is no more doors, I guess. Or less doors. Move the tarot cards in the collection cabinet so you can see them all at once on all aspect ratios. Okay. Candles found inside contracts can still be lit, but are no longer grabbable. What? And do not provide any sanity altering effects. What? Excuse me? We only get special ghost hunting candles? What? I mean, I don't know if I like this change, to be honest. Because it always felt like cool if you could use the environment as basically also an additional items, right? It felt like very natural. I mean, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you like this change, guys. The take a ghost photo objective will no longer count for 0-star photos. What do you mean? There's 0-star photos now? 0-star photos? Wait, excuse me? So you have to be close to the ghost now to actually take a photo? I mean, it's probably also easier with the dots now to take a photo of the ghost, so it makes sense, kinda, right? But, yeah, whatever. Light range has been reduced and will no longer cast shadow to save performance, right? The fallen candelabers will now start off and cannot be relit. Okay. Improve the performance of the fountain in Sunny Meadows. Alright, the bloody fountain again. Remove distortion for VR parabolic microphone glass. Improved support for new HTC VR headsets. Replace Turkish font to make it more readable. Several candles in Sunny Meadows Chapel have been adjusted. Light range has been reduced will no longer cast shadow for safe performance. The fallen candelabers will now start off and cannot be relit. Alright. Right. Fixes. There's many fixes. Players should no longer be able to reach the maximum light count, resulting in lights not casting any visible light. For example, the basement floor being black, dots not showing on walls. Alright. The weekly timer will now display the minutes and seconds left after when there are less than 24 hours left. Alright. Faye will now have the correct interaction rate. Wait, there was a problem with that? Didn't know that. Faye is now better, guys. EMF interactions will no longer cause incorrect collisions with objects. Alright. Players will no longer change their order between the lobby, truck, and journal. Okay, cool. Fixed a common crash when initializing VR. You can no longer repel the ghost for another player with an unlimited range. Lighting a smudge stick in the truck is not possible. They finally fixed it. Insane. So you were able to basically save your teammate when you were standing in the truck. Just smudge, right, while watching the screens. If one of your teammates is in danger, and the ghost will still be smudged. That is actually not longer the case. So they actually finally fixed it. It's insane. Faye will no longer age when only a dead player is nearby. That was a thing. That was a bug. Excuse me. Faye will now do fewer ghost events as it ages instead of more. That was also a bug. Wait, what? How did I never notice that? Yokai will now have an increased hunt chance and activity for all talking players instead of just the host. I never noticed that because I mainly play single player, but that is actually annoying. Tanglewood Basement audio will now change at the correct position. Okay. Tanglewood Basement room bounds are now accurate. Mare will no longer count keyboards and TV remotes as light sources. What? Why? Why? Why are you doing this? Why? That was cool. Why? That was such a cool thing to know. Why? Please bring that back. I don't know what the reason is for removing that. Please bring that back. That makes no sense. That's knowledge, you know. You could technically use the TV remote, throw it into the ghost room, and then if the ghost is actually using it, turning on the TV, you knew it was not a mare, right? That is knowledge you could. I don't know. Some of these changes I don't like, to be honest. The ghost can no longer get stuck at the back of the Woodwind game stand. I had that. It was pretty funny. The Sunny Meadows camera icons will now show on the correct floor. Alright. Setup timer will now be set to 0 after using the Ouija board. Alright. The ghost mist event will now move towards you instead of above you. Okay. The monkey paw can now be grabbed while the Sunny Meadows Chapel Cross is on fire. Yeah, that was an issue. Someone mentioned in my comments as well. Items during contracts will no longer break if you're holding an item in the main menu before loading. Right, I don't know if I ever had that. Numbers in player names will no longer be translated when using Arabic. All right. Several items will no longer push you around while held and when you're crouched. Oh, thank you so much. That was so annoying, especially with the voodoo doll. That was a huge thing. So I'm glad they fixed that. Fixed the crash on the low-end hardware that caused quality settings to be set too early. All right. Due to the new voice system, issues with desynced voice chat, voice delays, and poor voice audio quality are now significantly improved. All right. The VR loading fade will now be completely black. You can no longer walk through the bushes in Willow. Wait, what? Why? Ghosts can no longer travel to unintended locations in high school. Okay, never had that issue. Mimics will now turn off their freezing breath if they changed into a Hantu. Yeah, I think we have had this issue, right? I think we had this issue once. That was pretty funny. Lighting the summoning circle will no longer turn the lights on in the room the ghost was previously in. Wait, that was a thing? I never did I notice that? I'm not sure. I think it rings a bell. Moonlight will no longer be visible in the Sunny Meadows basement restricting. Oh, it's gonna be so dark in there, guys. The photo camera can now be detected with the ghost during a hunt with a non-host is holding it. Nice. That was actually a thing. That was how did we not notice that? That was insane. Guys, there is no map. I was wrong. God dang it. I thought you're gonna add a map, or maybe they're gonna surprise us tomorrow. It's like, hey, there's a new map. Get wrecked. Right? I feel like is there stuff missing in this one? I don't know. Maybe they're throwing a new map at us. Just not saying it here, right? We need to speculate or something. There's no way they didn't add a new. I think that they probably added stuff. They probably added stuff that we don't know of, and we have to speculate if it's coming, right? Maybe also like stuff that we have to science for, you know. I don't know if something else is coming, but yeah, that's a pretty cool change. It's gonna be a lot of things that we have to check out with the new items, right? They haven't really gone into detail of the items here, especially like stuff like crucifixes and stuff. Like apparently the crucifix has different use now, maybe even during the hunt, right? We have to see that. Maybe you can even hold it during a hunt and stuff like that. So I think there's lots of stuff they didn't tell us here. Maybe tomorrow they will tell us, hey, you have to science a little bit, which is cool. I like that, right? I hope they're gonna let us science a little bit. But let me know in the comments, guys, what you think of these changes, and what you're disappointed about, or what you're really excited about. I would love to know, right? The devs hopefully also read the comments, so maybe they get some inspiration from you guys. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. By the way, I also need to mention that I will stream this update tomorrow straight out at 10 a.m. UTC when it's coming out over at Twitch. So head over to Twitch. Link is in the description down below. I'm also putting it in the top comment. Psycho Hypnotic on Twitch, right? If you don't know me, go follow there. And I hope to see you there tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. And yeah, have a good one. Bye-bye. Oh, all these patrons. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. Mwah. Big schmouts.